Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool duck telephone, and this is Jeff's telephone from Tennessee. And it may be his dad's phone because he mentions in the letter that it's his dad's favorite phone. And basically what's happened here is you see a white cord. Normally they'd be brown. And Jeff didn't send in the cord, which I kind of need because he mentioned something. He says the quack noise is quiet and then the phone altogether. And I'm trying to kind of figure out what that means, but then he says corrosion on the connections to the phone cord. And if he meant the handset cord had corrosion on it, I probably should have had the handset cord because I could have put new modular plugs on the end. And in this telephone, now I've worked on a lot of ducks through the years, and every once in a great while, this is the quack board. This is for the ring circuit that creates the quack. And if you notice, it has a regular line port for a line cord, and then it has a smaller port for the handset cord. But when you work your way back, and I have this duck apart, when you work your way back to the phone, if you'll notice, on some of these duck phones, what happens is this port here at the back of the phone is the same size as a line cord, okay? And so his cord has a small end like this, like a handset plug would be, and then the other end of his handset cord has a larger modular plug on it for where it goes into the telephone itself. Now what we have set up here right now is the smaller plug. I could put a larger, but you can make these work by simply plugging them in, but you have to keep them straight. And I wouldn't use the phone this way. I'm just doing this to troubleshoot it. You can actually hear the phone work. Give you some dial tone. The problem is we really kind of need his original cord, and I'm going to have to contact Jeff about that because we can put new ends on it. Because if I go change this end to a smaller plug, the port, the problem is his cord won't fit it any longer. But then I think he's saying that his cord has corrosion on it. So he really needs to send that cord in, basically, is what it comes down to. And we can put some new ends on it for him. Now, in this situation where you have your board that creates the quacking sound, it has to be connected to this telephone because this telephone has a high and a low and an off ringer button. So the circuit actually comes into the phone, and some of the circuit is right here that runs back to the quacker board. And so this handset has to be plugged in so this quack board can work. And so we're at this point. I'm going to give you some dial tone. So we know that part works. Now, I've already done some testing on this phone, and I know it's not the problem does not lay or lie inside the handset. It's in the quack board. And I'm going to hit the ring cycle on the analyzer. See the ring cycle? No quack. That's going to seize the analyzer because I just picked up the phone. Want to make sure our switch is on high. It is. Want to ring it again. The quack board or circuit is not working. There is a little spot here with some corrosion on it, but I don't think that's the problem. We're going to have to go through and do some troubleshooting. Although the board's not that big, there is a little bit of a technical design here to it. We have about 3 transistors, some components, and we have an IC chip that creates the quacking noise. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the ring circuit now because we know it's not going to ring. And I'm going to have to get into this quack board circuit and troubleshoot it. So we'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and we're going to troubleshoot it, and we'll get back with you here in a little bit. Okay, we're back now, and we're kind of in the middle of a troubleshooting process. And so we've troubleshooted this telephone out, the board, the PC board for the quack sound on the ring cycle. And basically I want to show you something here real quick. I want to go ahead and show you my meter there. Now, if I touch the 2 leads together, we know we have continuity. Now I want to measure the ohms across this speaker that's original to the phone, and as you can see, I'm not getting anything. So let's measure, and these are 100 ohm speakers. So let's measure the ohms across the replacement speaker. And as you can see, there's 87.4. It's bouncing between 87.3 and 4 ohms. So, you know, these are not going to be perfect. They'll, you know, when they say 100 ohms or they say 8 ohms, they're always around the, you know, they're not that perfect. So that's good enough. That's all we need. So now what we're going to do, since we know that speaker is bad, and that's going to be the very first out of all the ducks I've ever worked on, this is the first open speaker that I've ever found on one. Now also we noticed that there was some corrosion, and this is the back side of the board. There's some corrosion right in this area, and and that's on one of the legs of one of the transistors, and I've cleaned that up. And so we want to resolder that. But first of all, what I want to show you here is I'm going to leave these 2 leads loose that are on the speaker that are into the circuit, and I want to ring it. And we're not getting anything. That's because the speaker is open. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect it up to this other speaker, our replacement speaker, which is also 100 ohms. We'll let that go one more time. Turn off the ring cycle. I'm going to unplug the line, because now what I want to do is clean my soldering gun. We want to come in here and clean up this solder here on this leg of this transistor. I want to make sure that's all got a good connection. We know the phone works, but since it was corroded, we had to clean that. And I want to make sure there's going to be a good trace there. I'll take a quick look at that. And I'm good with that. So now what we want to do, make sure we got dial tone. And we do. It sees the analyzer. Dial to 2. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to hit the ring cycle. I'm going to hit low on the phone. And then I'll go up to high here in a second. And it did increase. I don't know if the video noticed that, but I did notice it. I'll go off. See, a ring cycle went by and it was off. I'm going to put it on low, catch the next ring cycle. It's on low. I'll let that go one more time on low. I'm going to hit high. Now, I don't know if the video's picking that up, but I noticed the increase. Okay. We'll hit the ring cycle one more time. Turn the ring cycle off. Now, we want to unplug this. Like I said, that's the first open speaker I have found on one of these units. Problem is here, this is a very small speaker for 100 ohms. I mean, they could be any size, but it's a very small speaker. And I do believe in the shop here is all I got is this speaker, which is a little bigger, which I think we'll be able to sneak in here. I think we're going to be able to sneak that in and still be able to secure it up. And we'll just have to work on getting that speaker in there. It's just a little bigger. What we want to do now is just want to look over this speaker before I desolder it. Get these leads straightened out. I want to make sure I get my positive and negative straightened out. Take a look at this guy real quick. Okay. Looks like they have that one set up the same way. So what we want to do is swap these again. And then we'll be finished up here. Okay, so here's our bad speaker. We just installed a good speaker, a replacement. Turn off the meter because we don't need that any longer. Well, we could turn it back on. I'll show you something here real quick. If you watch the meter, you'll see a dead short. I'm not getting a thing across this speaker here, but we'll measure this speaker and and we're getting 88.5. Now you'll get different readings on these sometimes, but they're close enough. They're not that. It's not that important that a speaker is right on the money when it comes to its value of its impedance. It's not that big of an issue. And you could measure speakers all day long, and they'll always just measure around what their value is rated at. And so, not a big deal. Okay, here's the old speaker. We'll go ahead and hook up the line to it. I'm going to let that go a couple times. Alright, what we're going to do now, you can see the duck's eyes light. Every time it rings. Let's make sure this one's... Okay, they're both lighting. I'm trying to... I'll let that go one more time. Okay, so they're both lighting. Give you some dial tone. Walk through our numbers here real quick. If you watch the analyzer there. Hang up. It says redial here, but you know, some of these didn't have all that. It's probably redial in the pulse mode. I'm going to end in a 2. Now, that must be in the pulse mode, but we don't really care too much about pulse since we have tone here. Ring it one more time. Since that was the issue. Answer it. I'm going to dial 2, and now I'm going to transmit, and you'll see this red light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. Okay, so we know this telephone is working. I'm going to go ahead and plug it over into a regular line. We'll call a time and temp number.
Good afternoon. Shop our entire location online anytime at Offenburg.com. Today is Thursday, January 19th. The time is 1:32. Current temperature 41 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area.
Mostly cloudy today, then becoming partly cloudy, highs in the 30s, temperatures falling through the 30s in the afternoon. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 18. Mostly cloudy Friday, highs in the lower 40s.
Okay. Call one other number, my number, it'll be busy. So we know this telephone is in working condition now, and everything has been repaired. And we'll go ahead and put the telephone back together again, and we'll be able to sneak that speaker in here, I'm sure. It's just a little bit larger than the original, but most of all, it's 100 ohms, just like the original, and we want to stay true to that. And we'll get it all squared away. But this is the final checkout, and I will ring it one more time. Off. I'm going to move it on low. Let that go one more time and hit high. I'll let it go one more time. Give you some dial tone. So now the duck has been repaired, and Jeff's dad can get back to having a good time. That's not fitting right because I have to put the duck back into the handset back into the upper portion of the duck. But now Jeff's dad can talk on this telephone again, and everything will be working, and it'll all work out. But the one issue that we do have with this telephone is I'm going to have to contact Jeff. I may need his handset cord, because if I go change, I want to unplug this real quick. If I change in the handset this modular port, his handset cord is not going to fit it any longer. So if his handset cord is damaged by some corrosion, I can repair that. I can cut the ends off and put new plugs on them, modular plugs. Or Jeff can simply try to clean the connections with some alcohol and get them cleaned up and kind of scrape on them like with maybe an Eversharp, and repair the telephone that way, the cord. So we'll have to talk with Jeff, see what he wants to do, see how he wants to handle it. But we do have that last issue to deal with, not having his original cord. So it's always important that anytime something's sent into the shop here, that everything is along with it. Earlier I had a Mickey Mouse telephone that they just sent the base to in the handset, and they didn't send their handset cord. And, I have to check everything out that goes with that phone. If I were to repair a phone and then send it back, and then it had more than one problem, and that handset cord wasn't any good, they'd say, hey, this isn't working. Well, I can't check everything out if they don't send it all in. So it's a good idea to send it all in. But the good news is the duck's repaired, and Jeff can use it again, and his dad will be happy about it and be able to enjoy the telephone again. These duck phones are very sought after. They're highly collectible, and I get a lot of calls about these. They're out there. There's not that many of them, but they are out there, and people like them. And I've actually had people ask me where you can get them and do I have any, and the whole thing. So people do love these ducks, and they make a great telephone, and they look cool too. So anyway, this is the final checkout video. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com. And you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. This is Jeff's telephone, or his father's telephone, from Tennessee. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.